I just got a publication from the National NRA, and they listed all of the people that were pro-gun in Arizona, and unfortunately you weren't listed, but you weren't listed one way or the other. But where do you stand on gun rights?
I am a life member of the NRA. I am also a member of the ACCDL. Just a little story. Mexico, the 10th Amendment of the Mexican Constitution mirrors the Second Amendment of the US Constitution. In Mexico right now, because of gun control, the only people that have guns is the government and the drug cartels. Is that what you want for America?
Hell no.
Heck no. So I am pro Second Amendment. If you want to carry my purse, see how much it weighs? And I know how to shoot. So we cannot let the government tell us that, every time I go to, I have this little sticker that says, "Gun save lives, saves lives." We were trying to get the endorsement of the NRA when the national GOP doesn't pay any attention to a candidate. They don't pay attention to you. Just last week, my communications director called the NRA. How come you're not supporting Gabby? She's a life member. She already paid her dues. They said, well, I have an A rating from the NRA. Why they didn't endorse me, I don't know. And I'm tired of asking. Yes. Oh, he has a microphone, sorry.
I got it first.
How are you doing in the poll? And how do you think you're going to do in the election against Grijalva, the communist?
Well, we don't have any money to do any polling, but what our own internal polling, we're 3 to 4 points behind. Yeah, you have to understand this is a 2-to-1 Democrat district.
And Grijalva's got a ton of money.
Yes. Interestingly enough, the DNC is not supporting Grijalva because I haven't made the big, the big name. The GOP is not supporting me in a big way, so they're ignoring me. But maybe it's a good thing, right, Andrew?
I think so.
Because we're flying under the radar. We have been working our tails off. Andrew, Barbara, this lady over here, she's shown up for walks. How many are familiar with District 3?
With what?
District 3, Congressional District 3. Just one hand. District 3 is the 26th largest district in the whole United States, geographically. It starts in Nogales, covers 4 counties. Starts in Nogales, along the border, goes all the way along the border to Yuma. That's all District 3. Now you're driving on I-8 and you get to Gila Bend. Gila Bend is part of the district, and then it comes all the way up to Buckeye, and then it spreads to Avondale, Goodyear, and Buckeye, and Tonopah. It's huge. And then, of course, Pima County. 50% of the vote comes from Pima County, which is Grijalva's stronghold. 32% comes from Maricopa County, just Goodyear, Avondale, Buckeye, and Tonopah. I have to share something with you. Coming up today, I was checking. I don't have a paid staff, so I have to multitask. I have to do a lot of things that other candidates have, interns and people helping. I don't. So I have to spread myself thin. I have a lot of volunteers, but everybody's doing something. Andrew, my goodness. Andrew needs help. Like he asked for help too. We need help with people calling. We need at least 10 people to help Andrew with phone calls. As of last Thursday, I was in Yuma. I spent 2.5 days in Yuma trying to get people to help. As of last Thursday, just in Yuma alone, there was 8,000 early ballots that had not been returned. It's like, what is wrong with people? I really lose it when it comes to, it's like, okay, you want the convenience of early voting, and then you don't vote.
Send them in.
Okay, I was going to share this with you. This came from on Facebook, from James Lilly. Gabby, I am a lifelong Democrat, not a liberal moron. I still believe in the middle-class working Americans. With this said, know that I am praying for you to beat Grijalva. He is a treasonous idiot that cares more about illegals than Americans. God bless, and believe me, a bunch of us moderate Democrats are in your corner. That just touched me. There's a lot of people, yes, he has the advantage, but a lot of people are coming to me, a lot of Democrats are coming to me just Sunday. I normally don't do campaign stuff on Sunday because that's my Sabbath. I try to, but anyway, they dragged me to this thing on Saturday. It was a Halloween party. I show up and everybody's dressed up and I go, you didn't tell me it was a dressed up party. so this guy, I walk in and says, you're too dressed up for this party. And I go, yeah, I want to go home and dress down or, put a costume or something. So I think my husband and I and the couple that we were sitting with, we were the only Republicans in that place. We're in South Tucson. Everybody's a Democrat. But people were coming to me, I voted for you. You need to beat Grijalva. I'm going to vote for you. I don't like early voting. I'm going to vote for you. It's like, whoa, just amazing. So between the work that we've done, knocking on doors, doing the grassroots thing, which is what every candidate should supposed to do, not just putting lies, and nasty ads on TV, spend $500,000 on airtime. Every day I get 3 or 4 mailers from the same 2 candidates. It just drives me crazy. Yes.
Okay, when you're elected, will you make a promise that you'll never vote for a continuing resolution?
I promise. You need to hold me accountable. Even if you're not my constituent, you can hold me accountable.
That would be hard.
Yes.
Gabby, thanks for coming.
You're welcome.
I was married for 25 years to a gorgeous Mexican girl from Tucson. I'm very conservative and she made me look very liberal. So my question to you is this. What would you do to solve the immigration issues in this country? And secondly, if amnesty is given to a lot of people that have gotten here unlawfully or illegally, do you think eventually all of them will be Democrats? Because I think the tendency on the part of the Hispanic culture is to be very Republican.
That's a loaded question, but thank you for sharing. Thank you. Where do I start? I am against amnesty. Our president, Ronald Reagan, already gave amnesty, we were told, 3 million people in 1986. We need to, is the right thing to do. We need to allow these people to come out of the shadows, blah, 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 blah. That 3 million people turned to 8 million people by the end of 2007. And there's always, when there's a will, there's a way. there's always these loopholes or illegal things that happen. And just one little story. I met with the mayor of Nogales. He's a Democrat, but he wanted to meet with me. Met with him, and he said, the first thing he said, Gabby, said, I am an American. And before, said, I served my country in the military. Before I am a Democrat, I am an American. And I asked him, how do you feel about amnesty? And he said a bad word. And I said, whoa. I said, wait a minute, you're a Democrat. You know, where's your heart, man? And he said, do you remember when your president, Ronald Reagan? I said, well, I wasn't here yet, but yes, I remember Ronald Reagan. He's the one that made me a Republican. I said, yes, I remember. He said, well, he gave amnesty to all these people, and people were cheating. I go, what do you mean cheating? He said, well, he said, all of a sudden, I had 20 long lost cousins that were calling me, asking for a letter so I could sign, so they could get amnesty. He said, they were living in Mexico. And I said, and what did you do? He said, well, what do you do when your mother calls you and tells you, yes, they're your cousins? So he signed the letters. And then he said another bad word, and he said, and you know what makes me angry? That all of those 20, only one became a United States citizen. The rest of them are on social services. They're just milking the system. And that makes me blink, blink, blink. That's how I feel about it, amnesty. It's a slap in my face, because I did it the right way. Yeah, I married a gringo, but I still did it the right way. Never came across the border illegally. How can we fix it? How about it starting by enforcing the laws?
Right. Yeah.
We keep hearing every politician, and I hate to call myself a politician because I am not a politician. I want to be a statesman. That's what our founding fathers were. They were a statesman. They never intended for politics to become a career. But we, because we're corrupt, remember, we have allowed our elected officials to make careers out of politics. And it's not working. It's not working. That's the only thing that I can think of. How can we solve the immigration problem? We have a system. People should apply from their country of citizenship. We have to check. I mean, I had to go through medical, and then they lost my records, and I had to do it again. They have to poke me 3 times, even though I have my marks, you know, from all my vaccinations from Mexico. You get very telling scars. Everybody asks me, what is that? I have a hole here in my arm. What is that? Are you from Mexico? I go, yeah, I'm from a third world country. It's a mark. And so one of the requirements when you emigrate to this country, they want to know if you have tuberculosis, if you have any other infectious disease. I know your wife probably, I don't know if she's an immigrant or she was born here. Okay, she was born here, so she didn't have to go through the process. But to me, I never thought anything of these people are racist, or, you know, what do you mean I have to go through this? It is what is required. And I appreciate it because we have to know who's coming, where they're from. When I fill out my application for citizenship, these applications are very interesting. Throughout the application, they ask you all kinds of different questions. At least 5 times, they asked me if I had some connection or something to do with the Communist Party or with communism. I go, wow, I love this country. Because since I was this tall. I keep hearing about communism in Mexico. They've been trying to infiltrate Mexico since I could understand communism. I got a lesson in communism. I knew what communism was. And we're seeing it here. We don't call it communism, but it's socialism. The government has become our God. The government is going to take care of all of our needs. And the ones that really need it don't get it. What's wrong with that picture? So I hope that answered your question.
And Gabby, this will be the last question.
What do you think of the granting of citizenship to a baby that's born on American soil?
Anchor baby.
I know there's a lot of controversy about the anchor babies. And I know the United States is one of 3 or 4 countries in the whole world that give citizenship to people that are born in this country. Just by the fact that you're born in this country. I have to tell you, my daughter was born in this country. My ex-husband, he was a green card holder. And, oh gosh, where do I start? I have to go back even further. My father was born in this country. When I turned 18 years old, I knew that I could go and apply for citizenship based on my dad's being born in this country. Well, I discovered a family secret. My grandmother made my father renounce to his citizenship when he was 18 years old because he was going to be drafted. I have no control over that, but I didn't know until I applied. I have that letter that came from Washington, D.C. Sorry, you don't qualify because your father renounced to his citizenship. And I go, oh, be darned. Dang it. I was robbed. I felt like I was robbed. When I was pregnant with my daughter, I said, my daughter's not gonna, my baby, I didn't know what it was. My baby's not gonna be robbed of that. I never thought of, anything. It was, that's 32 years ago. I was 18 years old. And I made the decision that my baby was going to be born in the United States. I pay for it. Every month I would come to get my checkup. The clinic, I went to community clinic. It was $750. That's 32 years ago. And my baby was going to be born at the university hospital not with a doctor, but a student. I didn't care. I just wanted my baby to be given that opportunity to be a citizen of the United States. Is she an anchor baby? No, because I never used her to get my papers. Another thing that people call anchor babies is that you get into public services. I have never taken public service. One time, my husband and I, we were, he lost his job, I lost my job. Our 13-week unemployment had run out. And that was it, because you paid into it. That was it. No, there was no Obama giving 99 weeks of unemployment. And we applied for welfare. We were denied because we were living in a nice house. We were renting. Our rent was $1,325 a month. This is in San Diego. We had 3 kids. We rented this nice house. It was a 2-story. We were doing okay, but hard times came, and here we are. And I'm freaking out. They're gonna throw us out. CPS is gonna come and take my kids. We went through that. And when they denied us, I just felt like, what in the world is wrong? I know people that are cheating the system, and they don't need it, but they're getting it. What is wrong with this? So I became very disenchanted with all of that. I don't know what to tell you. I know that a lot of people take advantage of that, the anchor babies. We need to change the law. We need an amendment. We need to change the 14th Amendment. I don't know what's going to take to change that amendment.
They won't do it. Democrats are counting on the Hispanics to keep them in power for 2 years.
Yeah, and it's not just Hispanics. It's from all over the world.
Yeah, that's true.